You know that feeling when your kid asks for screen time and your brain immediately spirals into, am I ruining their entire future? Yeah. Welcome to the Psychology of Parenting Generation Z. It's Psychology Unfolded, where we decode what makes you, you. Where every decision feels like it comes with a research paper you haven't read yet and a guilt trip you didn't order. If you're a parent of a Gen Z kid, you're living in what psychologists call the parenting paradox generation. You have access to more information than any parents in human history, and somehow that's making everything harder, not easier. Stay with me, because what's happening in your brain when you parent a Gen Z kid is completely different from what your parents experienced, and the science behind it is wild. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Parenting Gen Z isn't just about raising kids in a different era. It's about parenting while your entire nervous system is screaming that the rulebook you grew up with is completely obsolete. Your parents raised you with clear guidelines. Go outside, be home before dark, don't talk to strangers. Simple, effective, done. You're trying to figure out, is TikTok rotting their brain? Should I monitor their Discord? What's the right amount of independence when predators can access them through a screen in their bedroom? And here's what's fascinating. Your brain is experiencing what neuroscientists call cognitive dissonance overload. You're simultaneously trying to parent like your parents did, because that's your blueprint, while knowing that blueprint doesn't work anymore. Every parenting decision triggers an internal war. My parents let me roam free at 10, but the world feels more dangerous now. Or does it just feel that way because I see every bad thing on the news? That constant second guessing? That's not weakness. That's your prefrontal cortex trying to navigate a world your evolutionary brain wasn't designed for. Research shows that parents of Gen Z have the highest levels of parenting-related anxiety in recorded history. Not because you're worse parents, because you're parenting in an environment that's fundamentally different from anything humans have experienced before. Think about it. Your parents didn't worry about cyberbullying, screen addiction, social media depression, online predators, or whether their kids' gaming was a hobby or a crisis. You do. Every single day. And your brain is trying to assess threats it has zero evolutionary framework for understanding. Here's what's happening in your nervous system. Humans evolved with an in-group bias. You protect your tribe. You know who the threats are. They're physical, visible, external. But with Gen Z kids, the threats are invisible. They're digital. They're in their bedroom at 2 a.m., and your brain cannot compute that. So it just stays in low-level panic mode all the time. This is why you feel exhausted even when you're not doing anything. Your nervous system is running constant background anxiety, trying to protect your kid from dangers you can't see or understand. Most parents of Gen Z are millennials or late Gen X, which means you grew up in the transition period. You remember life before the internet, but you adapted to life after it. And that memory creates a painful comparison loop. My childhood was better, simpler. Whether that's true doesn't matter. Your brain believes it, and that belief fuels guilt every time you hand your kid a device. Psychologists discovered that parents of Gen Z experience ambiguous loss, the grief of losing something that was never explicitly taken away. You didn't lose your kid, they're right there. But the childhood you imagined for them, the one that looked like yours, that's gone. And you're mourning it while trying to parent the childhood they actually have. That's why you feel weird when your 12-year-old would rather text their friends than bike to their house. It's not just annoyance. It's grief disguised as frustration. But wait, it gets weirder. Parents of Gen Z are dealing with what researchers call information paralysis. You have access to every parenting study, every expert opinion, every contrary piece of advice ever written. And guess what? They all contradict each other. Screen time rots brains versus screen time teaches digital literacy. Let kids be independent versus the world is too dangerous. Your brain is trying to make decisions while drowning in conflicting data, and that creates decision fatigue. Every choice feels monumental because you've been told explicitly that every choice is monumental. Did your parents agonize over whether letting you watch TV would ruin your dopamine receptors? No. They told you to go play outside and called it a day. You're reading studies about neuroplasticity while your kid asks for the Wi Fi password. And here's what makes it harder: social media has turned parenting into a performance. You're not just raising your kid, you're raising your kid while everyone else is watching, judging, and posting their highlight reel for comparison. Other parents look like they have it figured out. Their kids are thriving, balanced, happy. Meanwhile, yours just had a meltdown because their Minecraft world corrupted. But here's the truth: those other parents, they're faking it too. Everyone is. The performance of perfect parenting is just that, a performance. Social comparison theory explains this perfectly. When you're comparing your messy real life to someone else's curated Instagram grid, your brain processes that as failure. Now let's talk about something most parents won't admit out loud. You're parenting while secretly terrified you're doing it wrong. Not just normal doubt, existential fear that you're failing your kid in ways you won't understand until therapy bills arrive in 15 years. And here's why that fear is so intense. Your parents parented with confidence, even if they were wrong. They didn't have Google telling them 47 ways they were psychologically damaging you. You have WebMD for parenting. Every tantrum could be trauma. Every preference could be neurodivergence. Every mood swing could be depression. But here's what neuroscience research shows: kids are more resilient than you think. Your anxiety about ruining them? That's actually proof you care enough not to ruin them. The parents who genuinely damage their kids aren't the ones lying awake wondering if they're doing enough. They're the ones who don't wonder at all. Here's the part that might actually help. Your job isn't to give your Gen Z kid the childhood you had. That's impossible. The world changed. Your job is to give them the skills to navigate the world they actually live in. And you're doing that, even when it feels like you're failing. Teaching them to question what they see online? That's media literacy. Setting screen time boundaries, even when they hate you for it? That's executive function training. Talking about mental health openly? That's emotional intelligence. You're not ruining them. You're preparing them for a reality you're learning about in real time, right alongside them. And here's something beautiful. Gen Z kids are turning out okay. Studies show they're more empathetic, more socially conscious, more aware of mental health than any generation before them. You know why? Because you're parenting them differently. Because you're questioning everything. Because you care enough to be anxious. Your uncertainty isn't a flaw. It's proof you're paying attention. So the next time you're lying awake wondering if you're doing this right, remember this: the fact that you're asking that question means you're already doing better than you think. You're not broken. You're not failing. You're just parenting in unprecedented times with a heart that wants the best for a kid growing up in a world you're still figuring out yourself. And honestly, that's exactly what your Gen Z kid needs. Not perfection, just presence. Not all the answers, just someone willing to figure it out with them.